mean, I don't know.
No flag.
No flag.
No pledge anyway.
Downstairs, I can see it. It says here, to America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome to our June 19th Tiverton School Committee meeting. We have a short but I think somewhat important agenda. Is anyone signed up for open forum? Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda. Second.
All those in favor? Mr. Rurick?
Resignation, Tiverton Middle School Principal, Dr. Lori Dias-Mitchell. Student Council Co-Advisor, Tiverton High School, Christine LaRock. Appointments, Planning and Development for SEL, Tiverton High School, Lee Cusimano.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Blacker?
Yes, Mrs. Black.
Yes, I'd like to just thank Lori Dias-Mitchell for being an amazing principal and leader in the school community. And the best thing about her is, no matter what we came to her with, or anybody came to her with, it was always, okay, how can we do it? Let's get this done for the kids, and that's the most amazing thing that she did. And also, of course, Christine, who planned graduation and took care of everything, all the kids for the honors night and everything. But she's not leaving, she's just leaving that post, but thank her for all that. Thank you.
I literally echo those sentiments. In particular, Dr. Dias-Mitchell really showed a lot of leadership around the recent loss of Mr. Frerish, so we thank her for her service. Old business, none, and why? Wasn't that old business? Okay, policy development review, transgender and gender non-conforming students, policy number 1183. I'll ask for a motion for approval.
A motion for approval. Second.
Any discussion? I just had one small comment that I need to get to really quickly. Well, actually, I have two comments. One is I really appreciate the care that the policy subcommittee took in drafting this policy. It was very thoughtful, very detailed, and had a lot of good information. My only quibble, and I don't know if it was just you wanted to see if I was actually reading it, was on page 6 of 8, under title Transgender and Gender Non-Conforming Students. It says professionals as well as, comma, to file health insurance claims. I wasn't sure that that was a complete sentence. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not a complete sentence because to file is a verb.
I think that's a carryover from the previous page.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's just a carry.
It was the capitalization.
It didn't truncate. Yeah, it capitalized itself, but
That's what
it's
threw me off.
a continuation
Yeah.
from the previous page.
All right.
I can make that
Healthcare providers or
correction on the
professionals,
final
yeah.
page.
Yeah, that's what it says,
Final
healthcare
copy.
providers.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adoption? Opposed? Okay. Again, thank you very much to the policy subcommittee. Go back to my agenda. So, item 9A, TMS soccer program. Mr. Costa? You're up. So just by way of background, we approved the TMS soccer program for 1 year last year, and I believe they're asking for approval for an additional year.
Yes, sir, we are.
Anything you can tell us?
I really enjoyed, we only had 3 scrimmages. However, the kids really enjoyed it. We, the coaches, had a blast with it. And they played very, very well, especially when we went in with a co-ed team against Middletown, who came in second in their division, and we held them to 3 points. And we played everyone. We weren't being selective because that's not what we were there to do. We were there to develop our players, so we played 6th grade girls on the field with 8th grade boys, and They did a fantastic job. The kids, they were amazing. Going into this year, we had a little pre-sign up so that we knew how many numbers we might be looking at for next year, and it came in with 32 children interested in playing in the fall. It broke down to 20 boys and 12 girls. Those numbers, I'm expecting them to fluctuate a little bit because I'm assuming dropout rate of about 10%, but I'm also assuming that there's about 15% parents have already been asking about it, that their children were not signed up. So I'm guesstimating by the names that I saw, somewhere in the vicinity of 36 players.
Okay.
As far as the budget, and I would have to defer to Mrs. Farr on this, because I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we raised somewhere in the vicinity of $2,500 last year. We used $200 for a bus, and that was all. So there should still be $2,300. Coach Ed and I have already looked into some fundraising for the future, and I'm sure we can make up the budget for a team per session. I'm thinking is about $3,700 for a RIP COA session, playing home games away since we don't have a dedicated field. Any game, and Coach Ed has been talking with Mr. Murray about this, any game that we can squeeze in on the practice field will save us money on busing. We could also have, I would like to have at least one game at Town Farm, more so to increase visibility of the program. That'll save us another $250 on busing right there on that game. But our target for one team, we're using $3,700 as a target. I don't know that we have numbers, and if we have numbers, I don't know that we'd have the finances to do a boys and a girls team. So we would have to do another co-ed season. And look at the numbers for the year that would follow that, depending on fundraising.
Okay, great. Thank you. So,
Can I
yep.
can I just ask one question? How
Yes,
many
ma'am.
kids did you have on the team this year?
What's that?
How many did you have on the team this year?
We had roughly 20.
Okay. So I'll ask for a motion to approve the TMS soccer team, as well as allowing them to do fundraising, as we are not appropriating any funds from the school district.
Motion to
I'll make that
approve.
motion.
Yeah. Second.
Ms. Clark, you're going to second? Any
Yeah,
other
second.
discussion?
And I think the girls can handle it, that's good, keep them going.
Girls can
They
more
can
than
take care of
handle.
themselves. I know that. Know that from my
Girls can more
daughters.
than handle it, believe me.
How many games did you play last year?
We played 3 games last year.
Three.
We played Little Compton. The Little Compton game was actually special because we made arrangements for a pre-scrimmage with the younger players, so that the younger players from Tiverton could play with the younger players from Little Compton in a little bit more open than normal. And then we played our actual game. So that was a fun, well, the first match was fun. Little Compton wouldn't say that the second match was very fun. No, we kind of took it to them. We played Middletown. Again, we played their boys team with a co-ed team. And then we played the Newport Middle School co-ed team. They started off as co-ed and they ended up with most of their boys on there to try to keep up. But they were great games. They were fantastic. A lot of fun.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Mr. Mello, do you have anything to add?
Did a great job. we'd like to do some fundraising. I'd love to have a girls' team and a boys' team. When you combine them together, sometimes the younger girls kind of fade out because the boys are a little more aggressive. The older girls can usually handle it, but I like to make it, it's a great way to build self-esteem, self-confidence for these
Right.
girls. So I'd like to get both teams if we can. That'll come down to financing and having the numbers. I spoke to Mr. Murray. I was supposed to get back to him earlier this week, but I wanted to come to this meeting first just to make sure we were all set. What I'd really like to do, I know he uses the middle school field for football. He's been doing it forever, I understand. I also volunteer last year as the assistant for the girls' high school team, and I know there's field time and field space
So you could
that we
use-
could use. If we could get a
Right.
home field to schedule some of our games, that would be a huge,
Be a big help.
we wouldn't have to pay for buses.
Save money.
It'd save us a lot of money. I'd also like to maybe, if any of you have any influence from Mr. Murray, could maybe twist his arm a little bit. What we'd really like to do is have maybe a night game under the lights for the middle school team, if that's possible. I think the kids would really enjoy that. Just one. We're not asking
right.
for everything, but if we could have one special night, maybe like a 8th grade game or something, kind of like the senior day, we could have maybe like a 8th grade game for the kids. I think it's been a fantastic success. A lot of the middle schools have these programs, and what it does is, I know Tommy Murray very well. I was with Coach Dutra last year. And what we kind of do is we can kind of feed up these kids so we can run the same style of play, the same formation. So when they get to the high school, it's kind of like a
Yeah,
a
using the
stepping
feeder
stone.
program, yeah. That would be a feeder program.
Yes,
coming up to
and
town.
that's kind of what we're trying to do. Very, not only happy to volunteer, but I think we're thankful that you allow us to volunteer. Both my kids are on the team, so, and Oscar was on it last year, having an absolute ball. I know Mr. Watkins' son's on it, and we have a great time. So thank you for allowing this program to continue, and any help you guys can give us would be great.
Thank you for doing it.
putting it together
That's
and
right.
volunteering.
It's good, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor? Okay, thank you again. Item 9B, onboarding of Dr. Sanquioni. So I put this on just as a, it's not the most elegant term, but I couldn't come up with a better one. So Dr. Sanquioni will be starting on Monday, and I wanted to sort of give people an opportunity to discuss a couple things. One is, I think it would be a good idea if we all took an opportunity to meet with him actually one-on-one, to sort of hear sort of our perspective. But also, it would be, I think, nice to plan a time sometime over the summer where we meet with him as a committee to review sort of his goals and objectives as he starts in the district. Thinking sometime either late July or early August, as he's had an opportunity to get more, get a sense of the district and then kind of go from there. But this is not something that we need to vote on. I just wanted to sort of hear people's views of that, and also, again, make sure that we felt comfortable with everyone having the opportunity, if they so choose to take it, to meet with him. Black, anything? No?
I think the sooner we can get together with him as a group, the better,
Okay.
that we can start talking about goals and vision.
Okay. All right. The other thing I was wanted to hear some input from the committee was Dr. Arardi was our consultant in the superintendent search, and certainly built up a lot of insight about the district and sort of where we should be going. And I wanted to see if he thought he had more to offer in terms of helping Dr. Sanquioni with his transition, and whether or not Dr. Sanquioni was even interested in that. But that would again be something that we would have to agree to as a committee. But before I offered it to Peter, I thought I would get the sense of
a good
what you
idea.
guys thought.
He met a lot of people and talked to them.
that would be a good idea.
Diane, can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, I said I thought that would be a good idea because he met a lot of parents and teachers and staff in the community. If Dr. Sancharian was interested in that, I think he's a valuable asset to our district now because of the job that he did during that time.
Dan?
I think Dr. Arati did a great job for us, and certainly he did meet with all kinds of stakeholders throughout the town. At this point, though, unless Dr. Sanchione is asking for the help, I wouldn't want to, I feel that he's a tenured, experienced superintendent, and he should be able to take the reins pretty much without the outside help.
Okay.
I agree.
With
I think
Diane?
he should-
with,
Yeah, Diane, no, I think that he's experienced and he may have some ideas already of how he is
I imagine he
intending to
does.
go forward, or I think it is better not to bring Dr. Arati back into the mix. Even, I think he did a wonderful job. I think he was excellent. I just think that unless Dr. Sanchione feels that he needs something more, then I think we should just let him go on his own.
Okay.
And I think also, I mean, he has Mr. Rarick.
Yes, that's true.
You know, I think we'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Then item 9C is request to finance 8 air conditioners at the elementary schools. Mrs. Powers put this on?
Towers.
Mrs. Towers had asked for this to be on the agenda, but then conflict arose and she was not able to make it tonight, so I'm going to table that, or do I need a vote to table?
I'll make the motion to vote to table.
Second?
All those in favor? All right. So, announcements. Actually, this is Mr. Rurick's last school committee meeting with us as superintendent, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank him for his many years of really dedicated service. He has built the district both literally and figuratively. I think he's gone through 1 school building and 4 renovations, is that?
Well, 3 elementary schools, renovated the high school, and renovating the high school again and the middle school.
So, right, so is now carrying us through from the inception of the facility study almost 5 years ago now, or 4 years ago now, to, and we'll complete this $15 million or more project. So that's the literal part, and I believe each of the principals and all the administrative staff and probably the vast majority of the faculty have all been hired by him, so has also built the professional apparatus of the district. So, Bill, thank you. You're not saying goodbye because we still have you.
Yes, you do.
And we are grateful for that. And I believe Mrs. Barnworth has something to read as well.
I do. Bill, you've been with us for 20 years, and 13 of those as superintendent. And as Dr. Larkin just explained with regard to the buildings, that's been a major accomplishment. You've also managed through multiple curriculum and standard assessment changes over the years, as well as state mandates and federal mandates and on changes at RIDE, which are, ongoing. You've been a strong advocate for school funding at both the town and state level, having watched you in front of our budget committee. There was no time when I was more proud to have you there on our behalf. You've guided several school committees through successful rounds of contract negotiations. You've led our district into a new era with technology in the classrooms. You think about it, when you started, were there any computers in our classrooms? I really don't know. On the school security front, especially as it came out last spring, you've positioned us really to be a leader in our area with regard to physical security of our buildings, as well as training of our staff for these unfortunate events. And certainly you've navigated the sometimes shark-infested waters that we call Tiverton politics. So for all of these accomplishments, and so many more that I just can't even possibly quantify, I want to thank you for everything you've done for the students of Tiverton. And I wish you well with your next chapter.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you.
I also have a statement from Mrs. Palash, who couldn't be with us tonight. So I will read that verbatim. Sorry I couldn't be here for your last meeting, and I know you're still helping out for next year, but just wanted to thank you for 2 decades of dedicated service to the district. Hasn't always been easy, and the decisions weren't always popular, but I want to thank you for doing what you always believed was in the best interest of students. Both as a parent and a school committee member, I watched you protect the district against those who see little value in public education. My very best wishes to you in whatever or wherever your next chapter brings you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Struck. Speech?
No, no, I came in with no fanfare 20 years ago, and I plan on leaving the same way.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right. So next, I'll ask for a motion to move into executive session under Rhode Island General Law 4246582, collective bargaining, NEA Tiverton, and Rhode Island General Law 4246582, litigation legal advice regarding administrators' contracts. Do I have such a motion?
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.